Stuart.
Yes.
Um, my perception is that in the last 6 months, we've been going through an accelerated amount of transition and transformation in the world. Is that what I'm experiencing a reflection on my own work, or do you also sense that we're going through this?
Uh, yes. Yeah, the last year has brought on such profound changes inside me, that it's been quicker growth than I can ever remember in my life. So what you're seeing is what's going on, and hopefully it is affecting everyone that attends these classes because it's very profound. It's a depth that I've never known before. And to boot, there's a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of openness, you understand, and a deeper sense of my own responsibility to serve God. And whatever it takes, I have to do it because that is what's making it possible. Understand? And what you're perceiving is exactly what's going on, Larry. And I think it's great that people can perceive this. I mean, Rudy used to have me hang around with him because I always saw it in him. And he would say, "What's going on with me now, Stu?" He would ask me this. I would, sit there and I would tell him, and it's very important to have relationships with people like that that really can perceive what is going on. Not fantasize what we want somebody else to be, not create an illusion out of somebody else, but what's really going on. But you're right, this has been a very powerful time. And, all it makes me do is get more committed to this work because this is what's doing it. You know, because my goal is not to, everything on the earth is a horizontal plane. My goal is to get free of all of this and to do whatever required to get free of it. Look, I've been teaching these classes the last 5 years online. If you would have told me this in 1995, I would have said you're crazy. No way I'd ever do this. But the growth has been astounding. I wanted to continue to grow, not just horizontally, but metaphysically, getting closer to God, getting closer to enlightenment, doing the work one has to do in the world in order to attain that. Everything else is bullshit, It all just is transient. It's just bullshit. And I don't mean just what I do, but anyone who's committed to having God in their life, they've got to do some kind of work that demands on them, makes them grow, creates a situation where they have to grow in their life. Because the only way they can deal with it is to get closer to God. And in the midst of all that, there's joy, there's love, there's fun, there's. So what you're seeing is very perceptive, Larry, and very important because it's really what's going on. I don't recognize myself from day to day. Now, you might tell me I need a therapist. I don't think I need a therapist. The changes are so profound that it's hard to keep up with myself.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Larry. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
A moment ago, you spoke about getting closer to God. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well,
In,
to me,
in
what
a
it
word,
means is, I don't know what it means, Bob. Can anyone define God? There's no way, But to me, what it means is getting less of me, less of my ego, less of Stuart, more of my own nothingness, so that this higher force of energy, the Shakti, whatever one wants to call it, it can flow through me and not only make me grow, but it can also nurture other people. Do I know what God is? God, I mean, that's anyone who can define God, you send them to an insane asylum. There's no definition for higher energy in the universe. I mean, they used to in the Renaissance paint him as a father in the sky. But that kind of stopped. So I can't tell you what it means, Bob. I can only tell you what it's doing to me. It's making me truly get closer and closer to a state of nothingness, getting free of all the things that I was kept prisoner by all my life. Stuart, my ego, my thinking, what I want, what I don't want, who I am, my place in the world, getting free of all that and becoming a servant of God, servant of higher energy in the universe. In order to do that, I have to surrender in very great depths inside myself. So I don't know what getting close to God. Oh, I do. I just said it. But it's I can't define it, and put it in Webster's dictionary. But it's a slow, gradual, internal level of experience, living in the moment. I can't do these classes if I'm not living in the moment. Taking upon oneself the work that you have to do in your lifetime in order to become one with higher energy.
I have a hard time understanding what it means as far as becoming one with higher.
You have to say it again, Bob.
I'm not. My mind has a hard time grappling with being one with the universe. Uh, how do you experience being one with it?
Just become nothing inside yourself. Give up having to understand it and just let it be a living experience. Give up your whole belief system. I always say if a saint wants to be enlightened, they have to surrender their sainthood. You got to surrender everything. Ultimately, we got to surrender everything anyway. We have no choice in the matter, right? We won't drop dead one day. We have to let go of everything. So the process between now and then is gradually, incrementally surrendering everything inside you so that you can be a vehicle through which that energy flows. You can live your life that way. And what does that amount to? Love, compassion, understand the sense of empathy for other human beings, your own self-worth as a human being. The heart is open, there's love inside you. Forgiveness, that's really what it means. Not judging anybody and just learning whatever karma brings into your life. I mean, if it means anything, it means what I just said, not knowing more than other people, listening. I remember once I was working for a guy who had rented a ground floor loft from Rudy in order to run a gallery. The guy was a very famous photographer, and he hired me to renovate the space. I was scraping beans. I mean, God, I looked like a coal miner doing that job. It was something. And I remember, and the guy was a little bit, he didn't have a lot of training in spiritual practice, this guy. He had a huge ego. And he used to, kind of make me a little crazy when I went down. And I once complained about him to Rudy. And I really got my ass whooped from Rudy. And he told me, Stuart, what is he teaching you? What have you learned from him? You understand? Why are you judging him? Yes, the man, what you see, yes, the man has problems, but he has to live with those problems. So have some empathy for him. That was an education. And it's important. I mean, the first step is not, enlightenment. The first step is developing one's humanity, learning how to live here with an open heart, learning how to see the seed of God in other people, even the people you don't like, why they were put in your life. What do you have to learn from them? And it starts with our parents, it starts with our children, it starts with our relatives, it starts with the people that are closest to us. And actually, if where it starts anywhere, it's with ourselves. We have to learn to like ourselves. We have to learn to live here with an open heart and forgive ourselves all the things we have done in life that make us cringe. This is what it's about. I think, I might be wrong. I've not been right about everything. In fact, there's very little I've been right about in my life. All I know is that it works. It works. And learning to like yourself allows you to learn to open and like and love other people. It it allows you to open and free yourself of your karma on the earth, which allows you to get closer and closer to a oneness with higher energy in the universe. And the most remarkable thing of it all is it gives you an incredible life. I could say my life has been very interesting. It's a little slower now. Christ, I'm not a kid anymore, but when I was younger, my God. I hope what I'm talking about is clear. It's very important.
That was a great answer, Stuart. Thank you.
You're welcome, Bob. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, just to finish this, we were not born in the cosmos. We were born on the earth. And along with it came a lot of stuff that we have to work through as human beings. But there's a reason we come here. I mean, I remember I read a passage by the Buddha where he said that suffering is the fastest path to enlightenment. And everyone goes through it. There isn't a person alive that in one way or another doesn't go through it. It depends on how you use it. If you say, okay, I'm going through this, this is impossible. I have to go to a higher place in myself and get to a higher force of energy, to get the energy to be able to transform it into love. And I think that's what the Buddha was talking about. What Christ talked about, God is love, is all love, love your enemies, love your neighbors, love everybody. How much you have to get over yourself to do that. It's a really big job. It's in every religion. It's in the Jewish religion. It's in every single religion. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, thank you. God bless you all. And there'll be class. What's it? I don't even know the day anymore. Thursday. So there'll be class on Sunday. There's also a class this evening. Jennifer will be teaching it. God bless her. She's growing a lot, and this is a really big step in her life. And I'm really happy that she's doing it. And there'll be another class on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. God bless you.